Today, we're going to pit two of South Korea's largest and best airlines head-to-head on the busiest flight route in the world to see who does domestic flights the best in Korea. I'm going to fly each of them, showing you everything that you can expect on a flight to and from Jeju. With flights departing on average every 5 minutes, the Seoul to Jeju route stays solidly first on the leaderboard in terms of the number of flight departures a day and passengers carried. The exceedingly high demand leads to a wide variety of airlines fighting for a slice of this huge pie, offering flight tickets for as low as $12 on the low-cost carriers. On the other end of the spectrum, we've got full-service carriers like Korean Air and ASIANA Airlines. We'll compare these two full-service airlines on a few factors and see which airline offers a better experience when traveling between Seoul and Jeju. My verdict may surprise you. But first up, we're going to try ASIANA Airlines from Seoul, but this time not from the famous Incheon Airport, but from the much more convenient and less well-known Gimpo Airport. Here's where all domestic flights from Seoul depart from, including Jeju on the world's busiest route. I've arrived by Seoul's very extensive metro system, which drops you off at the basement of the airport. The station is served by a whopping 5 metro lines, making it extremely convenient to get to the airport by public transport. Heading up to the departure level, I headed to one of the kiosks to check myself in. After I tapped on ASIANA's logo and agreed that I have no martial arts item on me, I keyed in my 6-character booking reference number and phone number, which got me this piece of receipt as my boarding pass. I still had 2 hours before my flight, so let's see what we can find in this airport. Predicting that I wouldn't be getting any sort of food on my flight, I got myself some kimbap from the convenience store. These are Korea's famous rice rolls, which are eaten on the go, and are filled with rice and different types of meats and vegetables. It was pretty delicious and relatively filling. You can also choose to eat at the huge food court too if you like something more extensive. Here's where I realized there's an observation deck, so of course I have to check it out. The view up here was pretty great, albeit slightly hazy, and you can see the huge variety of planes that serve the Seoul to Jeju route, which was quite a fascinating sight. Security had quite a queue at this time of the day, which took me 20 minutes to clear. I've heard that it could get much worse during the holidays, so do come here early if you can.
Attention please. ASIANA Airlines flight A965 to Jeju has been delayed due to aircraft connection.
Arriving at the gate, I was greeted with a whiteboard showing they'll be boarding 10 minutes after the scheduled departure time. Not a very good start here. Luckily, after a short wait, our plane soon arrived from Jeju with a slight delay. Taking us to Jeju was this 26.5-year-old Boeing 767-300 with the registration Hotel Lima 7528. Interestingly, this is ASEAN's last operational passenger Boeing 767 and the last non-extended range 767-300 still in operation, making this a very special jet. It does 3 to 4 round trips a day to Jeju, making it surprisingly easy to catch a ride on this rare plane. After a very quick turnaround, it's finally time to board my plane. Let's see how it looks on the inside, shall we? Stepping on board, we can see the economy is in a pretty unique 232 configuration with a total of 290 seats. I paid extra to select my seat here at 16 kilo, which comes with this gorgeous view of engine 2. Interestingly, there's no business class or even partitions on board this plane, so you can look down the whole entire plane completely unobstructed. The cabin also carries a pretty retro vibe too with the age of the plane, with old graphics on the screen, old overhead locker designs, and plush seats with enormous legroom, which naturally makes the seats very comfortable to sit on. those sounds from the engines are just truly incredible. Anyways, now that we're in the air, let's talk more about ASIANA, shall we? Just in case you don't know who they are and how they operate flights on this route. ASIANA is Korea's second largest airline after Korean Air and has won quite a lot of prestigious awards in the past. It even has a 5-star rating from Skytrax. In 2021, it was announced that Korean Air will acquire a big part of ASIANA's operations due to its parent company's financial crisis and will be merged into Korean Air in the future. Currently, ASIANA operates up to 39 flights a day on this route, including flights by sister airline Air Busan, using a mix of wide-body Boeing 767s and Airbus A330s for ASIANA and narrow-body A320 family aircraft for Air Busan and ASIANA. The classic looking seats on this Boeing 767 are relatively basic and are not fitted with entertainment screens. It comes with a standard tray table, and within the seat pockets, there's a safety card and a bath bag. The great thing about this seat is its generous legroom, which is quite comfortable for this 50-minute flight. Not long after, the cabin crew made their way across the cabin with fuel cards. Will we get a pack of peanuts or maybe even a piece of cake? Nope, just a cup of Coke unfortunately. They do have other drinks to offer though, like orange juice and bottled coffee, which is not too bad. We still have quite a bit of time left before we land, so let's check out the 767's loo. It's not the most modern of loos, but it's kept clean for the flight. After a quick 15 minutes in the air, it's soon time to land at Jeju Airport. Once we land, we'll try Korean Air to see if it's better or worse than ASIANA. Well, hello from Jeju Airport. It's time for our second flight back to Seoul Gimpo, this time flying on Korean Air. This airport is very well connected with the rest of South Korea, as it has multiple flights a day to almost every city on the mainland, with a handful of international flights to places as far as Singapore on Scoot. You can check in with the machines around the terminal, but I decided to try my luck to get a proper boarding pass at the counters. Well, unfortunately, it's still the same receipt-like boarding pass that I got in Seoul, so only go to the desk if you need to check in your bag. Wandering around the airport, I realized there's an observation deck here too, but it wasn't as nice as the one at Gimpo Airport, as it had glass blocking the view. Still better than not having an observation deck, I guess. I still had a few hours before I'm supposed to fly to Seoul, so I headed to the food court to get myself a bowl of kimchi ramen. I highly recommend you try this in Korea if you're okay with spicy food, as it's absolutely delicious. As I arrived at the gate, I realized that my gate had changed at the very last minute, even though my plane was already at the original stand. Here you can see Korean Air's rather unique boarding process. Passengers will first queue along lines on the floor according to the boarding zone. When it's time to board, a ground staff with a signboard will lead you to scan your boarding pass. Well, it seems that we're taking the bus to our plane after all. A quick bus ride later, we park next to the plane that's taking us to Seoul tonight. This 1-year-old Airbus A321neo with the registration Hotel Lima 8530. Korean Air has 13 of these in its fleet, using them mostly on domestic and short-haul flights around Northeast Asia. Stepping into the A321, the cabin looks absolutely gorgeous, with 2 rows of dark grey lie flat seats in a 2-2 layout, and 174 dark red and blue seats in a 3-3 layout. It's quite a departure from the usual Korean Air interiors, which usually features a monotone baby blue and dark blue colour scheme for business and economy respectively. Here's my seat at 51 for short on the right side of the plane. The first thing I noticed are those enormous touchscreen IFE screens at the back of every seat, which is a cool feature you don't see that often on narrow-body jets around Asia. Headphones are also provided for this 40-minute flight, which was quite a surprise.
객실 기압에 이상이 있으면 선반에서 산소 마스크가 내려옵니다. 마스크를 잡아당겨.
Enjoy your flight. Let's go.
Now that we're in the air, let's talk more about Korean Air, shall we? In case you don't know who they are and how they operate on this route. Korean Air is South Korea's largest airline, with a huge fleet of more than 160 planes flying anywhere from Madrid to New York City from its hub at Seoul in Jeju. It has a 5-star rating from Skytrax and has frequently made appearances in the top 15 airlines in the world. On top of the countless awards it has won to the present day, just look at the number of awards they list on their website. Currently, Korean Air operates up to 28 flights a day on this route, including flights by its subsidiary Jin Air. Korean Air mostly flies narrow-body A220s and A321neos and Boeing 737-900s, while Jin Air flies 737-800s and -900s. Wide-body planes of both airlines do sometimes make an appearance to add capacity onto the route during peak periods and holidays. In general, Korean Air commands the highest fares on this route, so I do have slightly higher expectations from them. Now it's time for a quick tour of the seats. It comes with a huge entertainment screen that actually works, and we even have the whole movies and TV show selection available. On the seat, there's a nice headrest, a standard tray table in front of me, and within the seat pocket, we've got a safety card, a Wi-Fi card, the onboard magazine, and a bath bag. Under the seat, you've got a USB-C charging port and a power outlet to charge your devices. For me, at a height of 1.8 meters, the legroom was pretty great, with 32 inches of pitch between the economy seats, giving me quite a bit of room to stretch. It almost seems like they've configured the plane with a long-haul cabin on a plane meant for short hops around Asia, which is quite commendable. The cabin crew soon went around the cabin with the catering cart, and just like the ASIANA flight, I only received a cup of Coke from the cabin crew. No snacks on board, unfortunately. Not long after, the bright lights of Seoul appeared outside my window, so it's time to share my final thoughts on who's the better airline when flying in South Korea. For the ground experience, since both airlines are mostly using common use airport equipment, it's a draw there. Now for the seats. Both airlines have pretty generous legroom, but Korean Air's Airbus A321neo's hard product is just absolutely phenomenal, and it's hard not to give them the win. For the in-flight service, it's also a draw here, as none of the airlines stood out and provided anything more than a drink on board. To be very honest, for such a short flight, I suggest choosing the cheapest airline you can find on Skyscanner, as pretty much most of the airlines on this route includes luggage in your ticket, even with this $12 ticket on EasterJet, and roughly have similar service on board, especially if you don't mind sacrificing a little comfort, as you will be able to save quite a lot on your ticket. But if I really had to pick one or the other, it would be Korean Air, especially on board the Airbus A321neo. If you're an F geek like myself, I highly suggest you fly the ASIANA 767, as it's the only one left in the world. If you are one of the few who watched this video to the end, do subscribe to Short Transit for more videos like this, and thanks for watching.